Hello, my name is Heather Davis, and this is going to be my Padlet video. To start with, I'm going to be naming the 4 domains as well as the 16 dimensions. The first domain is the planning domain, and the dimensions that are involved with this one are the standards and alignments, data and assessments, knowledge of students, as well as the activities. Alright, for the second domain, it is instruction, and it has, it has 5 domains, or 5 dimensions. These dimensions are as included. They are achieving expectations, content knowledge and expertise, communication, differentiation, as well as monitoring and adjusting. Alright, for the third domain, it is learning environment, and it has 3 dimensions. These dimensions are classroom environment, routines and procedures, managing student behavior, and classroom culture. Now for the last and fourth domain, it is professional practices and responsibilities, and it has 3 dimensions. These dimensions are professional demeanor and ethics, goal setting, professional development, as well as school community involvement. I think these domains and dimensions are structured in the way they are because it is able to make it a little bit more digestible for these teachers to focus on their growth as well as be evaluated on their growth. I think that there are many factors that contribute to effective teaching, and I think that the framework or the Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System, there we go. I think this framework does a good job with breaking them down into more clearer sections. These dimensions that are involved with the domains, they align with, I believe, good teaching practices by encouraging differentiations that meet the students' needs. I think it also discusses using students' data from assessments that could be used to guide further instruction, which is really important if we want to see learning growth in our students. Reflecting is also a big part. Reflection is really important if you want to be a teacher who is able to help their students grow. This relates to the monitoring and adjusting dimension within the instruction domain. It's really important that we use both formal and informal assessments to check our students' progress and adapt when needed. Question 2. I believe that when we provide our students with think time or writing time before we actually engage in the discussion, it allows our students to form a little bit more thoughtful and organized responses. I mean, as future teachers, we understand how important it is to have enough time to process and plan, whether it be a writing assignment or a video just like this. If I were to record this video without any forethought, I would be a lot more scattered and all over the place. I would, more than I already am right now, but I don't need to be beating down on myself. But when we give our students ample time to think and organize their thoughts, I think it can also reduce their anxiety about participating. I think it can also lead to responses that are better, that have more quality to them, since they have more time to consider what they want to say and how they want to say. For question 3, I know I will be experiencing challenges in my classroom, like with time management, off-topic conversations, as well as uneven participations, but there are things that we as teachers can do to kind of help limit these barriers that can happen. I believe I can address these challenges specifically to time management by setting clear time limits, whether that is like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. It really just depends on what the question is about and just how long the teacher thinks that these students need to be able to discuss whatever question and answer they have with their partner. I think it would also be a good idea to have set in stone the student know who their partner is, whether that is the person in front of them or beside them. And I read, I believe in the chapter it was talking about how in doing this it can help kind of take the load off the student's working memory, because if they are having to think about who their partner is, the act of them thinking can actually take away the knowledge that they might have in their head by just loading a little bit too much onto their cognitive load. But I think it's also important to explicitly model what is expected of them within this turn-in talk. I think this can help them engage more effectively, so they are not wondering what they're supposed to do or what to talk about or just how the whole process works. But I also like the idea of using switch points within the within the turn-in talk. It's important that not one student is using almost like 3/4 of the given time, and the other student is left with 30 seconds to explain about what they want to say. I think it would also help if the teacher would circulate the room. I think the act of doing this can help the teacher cut down on off-topic conversations and making sure that the students are utilizing their time efficiently and not just being like, hey, I wonder what's for lunch, what are you doing at recess? Just all of those things. All right, now for question 4, the last question. I think the Texas Teacher Evaluation Support System, the rubric or the framework, can encourage can help encourage teachers to create more high quality student discussions through the instruction domain specifically. I believe the dimension is, what is the dimension? It's achieving expectations. If the teacher sets high expectations, I believe high expectations regarding the discussions, I think that within itself can help improve the quality of discussions. I think that teachers can achieve this by, like I said earlier, by modeling what is expected of their discussions. I think it would also help if the teacher words the question in a clear way. The students should not be wondering what they are supposed to answer. They should have a clear-cut question, and eventually that will lead them to their answer. I think another dimension that helps create more increased engagement is, I believe, the domain of classroom environment. I'm pretty sure the dimension is the routines and procedures one. I think this dimension can encourage teachers to create an environment that supports these routines for the students to follow through regarding the discussions, and because I think when the students are able to follow these routines, like I said once again earlier, they are able to kind of relieve their working memory, so they are able to answer the questions more effectively without having to constantly try to remember what they're supposed to do. Thank you for watching my video. I hope those of who have watched it found it informational and was able to maybe get some insights from that or just something to think about. But I'm looking forward to watching y'all's videos. Thank you.